Hello, students in St. Cloud Schools. I am Sundee Frazier, and I am the author of Cleo, Edison, Oliver, Playground, Millionaire, which I understand you all are going to be reading together for your one district, one book program. And I was so excited and honored when I heard that news. And so I wanted to say a quick hello to you and send you a little message. And that message is this: I wrote you this book. This book was written just for you. And you know why I write for kids like you? I write for you because I think you are fabulous, and you are fun, and you're funny, and super smart. I know you're smart. Most of all, you are important. And so that's why I write for kids, because I want you to know that you matter. You are important. You also have incredible ideas. You are full of great ideas. And Cleo is a kid who is full of big ideas. And she actually starts a business in 5th grade. This is why I love Cleo, because she takes action on her big ideas. And so can you. If you have the idea to start a business, or maybe there's a service that you would like to provide to help others, you can do it. You can start now. Maybe business isn't your thing, but you'd rather try a science experiment or create an invention. You can do that too. Maybe you're someone like me who likes to write. You could write a story. Or maybe there's something in your community or in your neighborhood or even in your school that you'd like to see change. Maybe there's a problem that you're not happy about. You can start to work on fixing that even right now. You don't have to wait until you're all grown up. So I wanted to come and just share that with you. I just wanted to share with you, Cleo starts a business in 5th grade. You can start doing things too now. So Cleo is actually inspired by a real person. The character Cleo is loosely based on a real friend of mine. She's a young friend, and she is a very enterprising young woman. In fact, she made her first sale at the age of 2 years old. She made her first sale. It was a Disney princess sticker to a complete stranger, and she sold it for $2. My friend's superpower is persuasion. That means being able to convince people to buy whatever you're selling, right? So maybe some of you have that superpower. Maybe some of you are super persuasive like Cleo. But if that's not your superpower, you have one. Every one of you has a superpower, and I want to encourage you to start putting that to use now. Now, I thought it would be fun if we read the first chapter together. What do you think? So I've got my book here. I don't know if you have your book with you or not. If you do, you could follow along. If you don't, that's okay. Just listen and maybe use your imagination to picture the story in your mind. And I want you to think about something. Think about, as you listen to the first chapter, what do you notice about Cleo right away? And are there any ways that you are like Cleo? Also, can you imagine being friends with Cleo? Think about some of those things. Okay, let's find out what Cleo's up to. In chapter 1, a new name, a new business. Cleo wrote her new name in fancy lettering, the curlicue kind she'd learned from Kaylee. It didn't look as good as it would have if her best friend had done it, but it would work. She took down the California license plate door sign that said Cleo's Room and hung her new sign in its place. Cleopatra Edison Oliver, CEO. Perfect. Josh appeared from his and Julian's room. He stared at her door, slurping his dum-dum. Edison's not your middle name. No, it wasn't. Lenore was. But she didn't want that one. Not since Lexi Lewis had gotten a hold of it and started calling her Lesnore. It is now. She started into her room. But you can't just change your name. Can you? She turned. Josh ran into her, jabbing her with his dumb dum-dum stick. Ow! Sorry. She rubbed her chest where the stick had poked her. You can do anything you want with your name. It's yours. Josh sucked thoughtfully, as if this obvious fact had never occurred to him. He followed her across the room. But Edison is our grandparents' name. Cleo reached under her bed and pulled out the signs she'd made the night before. I don't think they'll mind. But you'll have 2 last names. Women with 2 last names sound more professional. Josh snorted. You're not a woman. Well, I will be. Now go away. She grabbed the roll of masking tape from her desk drawer, dropped everything on her royal purple comforter, and high-stepped onto the bed. She stood eye to eye with her poster of Fortune A. Davies. Fortune had skin that gleamed like a polished chestnut, dazzling white teeth, and a sparkle in her eye that said, I believe in you. Her arms were flung wide, forever frozen in an almost hug. How Cleo wished she could step into the picture and get that hug. Why'd you put your initials after your name? Cleo turned. The beads at the ends of her freshly braided hair clicked against one another. Josh was staring at her door again. She jumped down from the bed and grabbed the signs and tape. Those aren't my initials. I mean, they are, now that I've changed my name, but, she huffed. Don't you know anything about business, Josh? Not really, just what you've taught me. He grinned. He had a huge gap where his bottom 2 teeth had been. What would he do without her? CEO stands for Chief Executive Officer. Josh's forehead wrinkled. What's that mean? It's the person in charge of a company. Why don't they just call it person in charge then? It's easier to understand. Cleo rolled her eyes. She started down the stairs. But Cleo, you don't have a company. He had stopped following her. Finally. I do now. Cleopatra Enterprises, Inc. Barkley greeted her at the bottom of the stairs, panting from his long trek across the kitchen. His tail slapped the wall. Cleo crouched to get her good morning kisses. Ew, Barkley, not only are you seriously overweight, you've got a bad case of morning breath. Barkley barked. I think it's this new low-fat dog food we're feeding him, Dad said, scooping kibbles from a ginormous bag of slim and trim canine sardine meal. Mom wasn't about to switch dog foods until the whole entire bag was used, and as long as he had to eat that fishy stuff, Barkley's breath was doomed. Barkley nudged the food with his nose, but didn't eat any. Mom turned from the counter where she was stirring something that looked like sticky birdseed in a bowl. Her t-shirt exposed her formidable arms, not particularly muscular, but solid. I don't think he likes it, Mom said, watching Barkley. I like it. Julian slid into the room wearing his Iron Man pajamas. What? Mom's eyes popped wide. It's fish stick Cap'n Crunch. Cleo's littlest brother snatched a piece of dog food and crunched it in his mouth. Barkley looked at him quizzically, then took a begrudging bite himself. When have you had Cap'n Crunch cereal? Mom demanded. At Damon's house. That's the last time I'm letting you go there, Mom said. That stuff isn't fit for human consumption. Julian scowled. The rest of them laughed, even Mom. But then she added, I'm not joking. Cleo was tempted to try a bite of fish stick-flavored Cap'n Crunch herself, but she couldn't afford to have stinky breath on her first day of business. Can I take the card table outside? She asked. Uh-oh, Cleopatra, I have an idea Oliver is at it again. Dad winked at her. You mean Cleopatra Edison Oliver, CEO. Ooh, my daughter, the company president, Dad nodded. I like the sound of that. Cleo loved her dad with his crazy, curly, nutty professor hair. He knew nothing about business, but that didn't keep him from being gung-ho about it. Mom fixed her bright blue eyes on Cleo. What do you plan to do with the table? It's the grand opening of Cleo's awesome avocado stand. She held up her signs, then realized they were upside down. She flipped them around. Dad read aloud, Blowout sale? Everything must go? He looked at her. On your first day of business? It's advertising, Dad. I'm trying to get people's attention. Right. She produced the sign that said, Huge Labor Day savings. It's all about how you spin things. Marketing is 80% of sales, Dad. Is that so? Mom cut in again. So what's your plan exactly? I'm going to sell the avocados from our trees. Barkley's blown up like a balloon from eating too many of them off the ground, and let's be honest, how much more guacamole can we eat? A lot, Dad said. Mom's eyes slid to Dad's waistline. Dad scooped up Julian and tickled him all the way to the family room. JJ shrieked with laughter. How much do avocados cost at the store? Cleo asked. Oh, anywhere from $1 to $1.50 a piece, sometimes as much as $2.50 if they're big. Cleo's heart did a happy dance. The day before, she had counted almost 60 avocados on their 3 trees, and she was going to sell them all. Josh rushed into the kitchen. Mom, can we buy my Nerf gun today? Please? Mom was forming the birdseed goop into balls and plopping them onto a baking sheet. Do you have half the money yet? No. Keep saving, she sang. Josh scowled and stomped through the kitchen. Cleo hurried across the room. As always, I'll give away 10% of whatever I make. She looked Mom in the eye. It's fortune principle number 10, you know. That's wonderful, honey, but for the record, that wasn't her original idea. What do you mean? God told us to do the same thing about 4,000 years ago. Oh, no, not another one of Mom's sermons. What are you making anyway? Mom shoved what looked like lollipop sticks into the balls. Her eyes lit up. Longevity lollipops. Longevity? Long life. They're full of stuff that's good for you. Too bad. Cleo had been about to ask for one. So, can I take the card table outside? If you think you can convince people to buy the fruit off our trees, by all means, sell away. If she could convince people. Convince was practically her middle name. Except it wasn't. As of today, it was Edison. Cleopatra Edison Oliver, CEO. Person in charge. So, I hope you enjoy reading the rest of Cleo's story. And if you do, and you want to know what happens next to Cleo, you might be interested in picking up the second book, Cleo Edison Oliver in Persuasion Power, in which she starts a different business, another business. So, I really hope you enjoy reading the book with your school and with your families. And I also hope that you will be in touch with me and let me know some of your big ideas. You can do that through my website at www.sundeefrazier.com. Take care, St. Cloud students. It's wonderful to meet you.